Babulgaon, Nasik. Today, we all are blessed with the presence of our second resource person, Dr. Sudarshan Bobde sir. The second session with the interesting topic that is patent and intellectual property rights. I feel very proud to introduce our today's second session guest speaker, Dr. Sudarshan Bobde sir. Sir has a dynamic accomplished associate professor with overall 12.5-year experience in teaching and industry, specialized in civil construction management with a PhD from Savitribai Phule Pune University in association with ISRO IIRS, recognized for outstanding contribution as the best ISRO's IIRS outreach coordinator awardee in 2022. Sir has completed PhD in Civil Engineering from Savitribai Phule Pune University in 2022. Sir has completed Master of Engineering in Construction Management in Government College of Engineering, Karad in 2012. BE Sir completed in Civil Engineering from Government College of Engineering, Karad in 2009. Sir having some work experience like Associated Professor in Head of Civil Engineering Department, PCETS, PCCOE RC Ravel, Pune, since June 2016. Working as an Assistant Professor and Head of a Civil Engineering Department, AGTIS DACOE, Karad, July 2012, July 2016. Visiting faculty, Government of Engineering, Karad, academic year 2011-2012. Also 6 months work experience at Cognizant Technology Solutions India Private Limited. Sir handled some key responsibilities as a head of department, successfully obtained NBN accreditation for a program and contribution to Institute of a NAC A++ accreditation in the very first cycle. Implemented various academic, co-curriculum and extracurriculum activities to enhance student engagement and learning outcomes, facilitated research initiatives, and encouraged faculty to submit proposals to research funding agencies. Sir has organized some workshops, seminars, and guest lectures to promote research and innovations. Sir has handled some administrative abilities, proficiency in AICTE and DTE regulations, accreditation process, and university level committee deadlines. They can manage admissions process for undergraduate and graduate programs, represented the department in various committee and meetings. Sir having some leadership skills like establish high standards of disciplines and commitment, inspired and motivate staff towards organizational goals, fostered a culture of collaborative and teamwork. Sir having some extracurricular activity. They have secured 6th rank in university in final year exam of undergraduate. Under Atal Innovation Mission, AIM in 2018, one UG project presented before NITI Ayog, New Delhi. Successfully completed ISRO-sponsored NNRMS 2017 at IRSM Dehradun. Sir secured first rank in appointment of MSBT lecture in civil engineering by DT Maharashtra. Successfully 5 years certification of appreciation by ISRO IIRS. Sir organizes secretary by DIMIT 2K15 national level seminars. Coordinator RPP IPD 2017 CIPC IS. They has organized 60+ outreach IIRS programs. Paper presentation at 07 International Conference. Paper presentation at 03 National Conference. Sir has general papers 11+2 International General Paper. Sir have developed total patent 27. In that 12 patents are granted, 4 are copyright means registered, and they have some expert lectures in 15+. Sir having some areas of interest, that is RS and GIS, disaster management system, quantity servicing and contracts and tenders, hydrology and geotechnical engineering, water and waste management treatment, serving constructor management. Sir has a completed uh, PhD project on mitigation of landslide hazard by correlation between soil characteristics and drainage using geospatial technologies. Yummy project on landslide hazard mitigation planning based on a intensity, vulnerability, and social response with geological and legal approaches. A multifaceted personality. Sir, I welcome you for this FDP. Now, I would like to request Dr. Sudarshan Bobde, sir, to please start this session.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your very nice introduction. Now, I will start with the session. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I hope my screen is shared very well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I am Dr. Sudarshan Bobde, HOD Civil, Department of Civil Engineering at PCT's PCCOR Ravet, Pune. Actually, I am hearing echo. Is there any concern with the voice?
No, sir. It's clear for us.
Okay, okay. Now, my dear friends, very good afternoon. I am first of all very much thankful to Management SND for giving me an opportunity to share my views with you all. My dear friends, everyone would like to have some property on their name. But many a times this happens that whenever we are purchasing the property in terms of the piece of land, in terms of what we can say the wealth, or in real estate, in terms of the gold, we have to pay for that. And it is not what we can say, it is the concern related to the ability to purchase something based upon the wealth available with you. So the power available with the monetary aspect or the money will allow you to purchase something, and that is restricted to some extent according to your earning. My dear friends, when we are thinking about the intellectual property, what does it actually includes? So we all are aware that when we are talking about the IPR at India, we are having the patents, designs, trademarks, geographical indications, and so on. So, what does it mean, the IPR? It is totally based upon the intellect power that allow us to encash an opportunity to commercialize our idea and to get the maximum money out of it. So when we are thinking about the wealth, every time we are worried about how to just safeguard that particular wealth on our own name and credential. So similarly, in terms of the IPR, whenever we are going ahead, we need to just register that particular idea, invention at our name, and then only we can able to sell it out in a market. So whenever we are about to just register that particular idea, till that particular moment of registration, that should not be leaked, that should be kept as a secret. So that is what the actual meaning of the IPR. So in IPR, what we are actually interested in, we must have an invention, we must have an idea written on a piece of paper with the protocol defined and designated by the IP India, and then it's supposed to be get registered, then it will be get examined, then it will be get granted, and now then thereafter the actual game starts in terms of the commercialization of the IP. So my dear friends, today we will learn how to draft a patent in easiest way, what are the various precautions we need to take while going for the IP, or we can say yes, registration of the IPs, and how to convert our ideas, our UG project, your diploma project, your PG projects, PhD project in terms of the IPs that we will learn in today's session. So whenever we are having limited resources, what we can do? with the available fund, with the available salary, or we can say available package, we can able to purchase something which is, yes, what we can say, when we are about to sell, at that time we are about to invest in terms of the time, efforts, and it is against the knowledge for a month. We all are is employed somewhere, being a profession, what we can say, the professional in terms of the education sector, we are earning in the terms of the monthly salary, and it is limited one because it is not having the upper, what we can say, the limit. So it is according to the cadre we are earning something. So with that particular salary, after saving some part of that, we can able to purchase something. But when we are thinking about, yes, commercializing our invention, being a education is from the education sector, educationist, whenever we are thinking about our invention, always try to understand that it is having the worth of, what we can say, the amount that we are not imagined till now. And so whenever we are about to sell or commercialize our own single patent, we can earn in a billions. So whenever we are dealing with this particular day-to-day routine life, we came to know about many hurdles, there are many twists and turns, and especially by looking towards the today's, yes, what we can say, the change pattern of the education system, we all are totally engaged in terms of the documentation, in terms of the accreditation, and many more tasks. And because of that, we are unable to focus on the actual task in terms of the innovation. We are unable to find the sufficient time to register our ideas, and because of that, we are unable to encash an opportunity. So today we will learn how to proceed further with this, and how to safeguard our future and our family future with just registering our ideas and commercializing it for making a money. Always do remember, whenever we are talking about something out of the session, the actual outcome, I can say, is nothing but to improve our side with the resource called as money. Whenever we are dealing with the construction project, there are 5 M's: the main, material, machinery, and money, along with the methodology. My dear friends, without money, we are unable to invest in the remaining resources, we are unable to utilize the remaining resources properly. And the similar way, when we don't have the proper money, we are not enjoying our life. And so there should not be the upper cap up to which we supposed to think that this is the limit where I can, yes, I am happy with the this much of the wealth available with me. This is only a rumor, everyone is struggling for the making the money. And so being a teacher, it's my always humble request to all the participants that from this point onwards, always try to think about any problem, any hurdle that you are about to face. That might be the technical, that might be the domestic, that might be the personal. But if you are looking towards that particular problem as a, yes, the opportunity to encash into the IP, then you will start learning and earning out of that particular opportunity. Now, when we are talking about this particular beautiful example of the flare pen, here they have advertised like Rhitometer ball pen. What does it mean? Whenever we are talking about the Rhitometer ball pen, at that time, it is defined in terms of the advertisement that it writes up to 10,000 meters. Now, how to measure that we have written that particular, by using that particular pen up to 10,000 meter? So it is having the unique refill that is, what we can say, nomenclated, that is designed, that is, yes, the, yes, marked in a such a way that after utilization of that particular refill, we came to know that how much meters of the writing is remaining available, remaining with this particular ballpoint pen. So many a times when we are dealing with this particular concern, we came to know that yes, by using this particular refill, we can write up to 10,000 meter. Out of that, how much ink is available with me? So this is nothing but the invention. Now the ballpoint pen is very general terminology. Refill is also very general terminology. But what does inventor made in this particular case is nothing but he's marked the refill in a such a fashion that one can able to measure the available writing ink available in that particular refill, and he or she can plan accordingly. So there is a no need to carry the extra, what we can say, the buffer refill or the pen at the time of the examination. Many a times to avoid the risk for the 10th, 12th or our university examination, what we are generally observing, the people are just carrying the another refills, because there is a no typical, what we can say, the way with which we can define that the refill will about to be end. There might be the concern in some cases refill might be about to be get what we can say, the utilization of its use is supposed to be get stopped well within, yes, 50 or 20 pages. And when we are talking about another scenario, there will be a concern related to that particular refill that we can enjoy the writing up to 100 pages. So why it is happening? Because earlier we are not worried about the material, the gel with which we are just binding together the ink along with that gel. So there will be a continuous supply of the, yes, that ink, and it is just allowing us to write definite stretch of the words in terms of the length, in terms of the meter. So this is what the invention, my dear friends, with which we can earn a lot. So likewise, the invention, when we are talking about the invention, there are many inventions. Okay, so there is one what we can say myth is there. The one single idea will be available with the 7 people at a single time. So whenever there is any invention, generally out of us, anyone from our group says that this idea was also pop up in my mind, but once we are, yes, having that particular gadget, having that particular facility, methodology, or material or tangible thing in front of us, then we are start talking about that. Yes, that was the idea. Yes, similar sort of the idea on the similar theme, the idea was available with me, but I'm unable to encash that particular opportunity, I am unable to register that particular idea, and so that IP is not available with me. My dear friend, in one of the book I have read that the similar idea will be available with the 7 people at a time. और ऐसा कहा जाता है कि 7 लोगों को एक ही बार वैस उस तरीके की आइडिया, उस तरीके का ड्रीम आ जाता है। उनमें से 7 लोगों में से 5 लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि वो नींद से जगना उनको अच्छा नहीं लगता। सो दे आर थिंकिंग दैट ऑन टुमारो आई विल थिंक ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर आइडिया and I will draft that particular idea, I will develop that particular idea. So they are in a sleep only. Remaining two, out of that remaining two, one was start thinking on that particular idea, but he is unable to note it down that particular idea during that particular time itself, as it is the early morning time. So he is thinking that I have developed now this idea in my mind, on tomorrow I will start writing that particular idea on a piece of paper. But when the inventor or the actual gem in this particular process is one who just what we can say alive from that particular dream, he just start working on that particular idea. He took the piece of paper, he will mention the idea on a piece of paper, and he will start developing that particular idea from that particular point onward. Once he finish with this particular idea drafting, then only he will again go to the bed. So my dear friend, this is nothing but the concern in today's era. Whenever we are traveling with the railway, whenever we are traveling at a public, what we can say, transportation hubs, at that time we came to know that the people are selling the product for 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 99 rupees, and we came to know that this particular idea was also available with me. But the one who started working on that idea, the one who registered that particular idea with the IP India office, in terms of the pattern, in terms of the design, in terms of the what we can say geographical indicators, then they are about to enjoy the fruits out of that investment. And similarly, this is the one of the beautiful example. In 2008 we came to yes came to introduce with the era of the, what we can say, digital payment in terms of the cards. So the card system in terms of the Visa, in terms of the Master, in terms of the other rupee sort of the cards, nowadays we all are familiar with. But in 2008 the very first Visa card was introduced by the America, and people from the America, they start utilizing this particular card in both the ways, debit plus credit, and they start utilizing this particular card as an identity for having the transaction in the banks. And the banking sector and its revolution with this particular invention was changed to a new horizon. So my dear friends, in 2008, 2010, 2013, 2015 and 2019, try to understand what they have changed. They have changed from Visa Gold to the Visa Platinum Plus, from Visa Platinum to Visa Signature, then Regala, then Infinia. So likewise, they have introduced some little changes into this particular invention, and they have re-register rather this available invention in a newer way, in new fashion, and they are start earning out of this particular business. So try to understand, if anyone from our end might have thought that there should not be the long queue, there should not be the investment of the one working day to visit the bank for having the transaction. But none of us was thinking that there should be a solution in the form of these particular cards. And because of that, the one who invested his time, invested his patience, just what we can say, just wake up from the dream, wake up from the, yes, we can say the deep sleep, and that particular moment he start writing about this particular idea, and so he is or she is able to make this particular miracle. And nowadays everyone is having at least 2 to 3 debit or credit card available in their pocket. So try to understand, along with this particular sale of this particular cards, there should be a, yes, royalty, there should be a one time transaction in terms of the CR. So this invention, though this is nothing but only invention, the banking or the financial agency are actually working on this particular invention in preparation of the cards, in preparation of or transfer of this particular technology. But the inventor encased his particular thought process in terms of the intellect property, for which he just awaken out of the deep sleep. He start writing about that particular idea, and then he start in what we can say, start working on that particular idea. He registered that idea with the, yes, what we can say, respective authorities for that particular nation, as every nation is having the IP. And so this IP sale is reserving our rights, they are just safeguarding our rights in terms of the property or in terms of the generation of wealth. So this is the very, what we can say, the rough introduction of the IP with which one can start working on this particular phenomenon. Now try to understand how it is correlating with our own principles, core values as a professor. We are a professor, we are always thinking that we supposed to contribute for the nation building. How we are able to contribute to the nation building? By not only by teaching to our students, not only by, yes, contributing for them, yes, institute success and growth, not only just living and enjoying the vision and mission of the management, but at the same time, being a teacher, being a professor, we must think that there should be something extra additional that will contribute not only to institute, not only to the department, not only to your family, but also for our nation. So how it is possible? This particular graph let you know the difference in between the GDP. My dear friends, the GDP, the gross domestic product worth of any nation, will decide his position in terms of the world economy. And my dear friends, by looking towards the United States and China, we came to know that they are the top leader in this particular table, and we are lying, yes, at middle, what we can say, of this particular table. Why it is happening? Because many a times the Indian citizen never ever believe to write something on a piece of paper, to get it registered with the IP India, and because of that, many a times without having the rights, we are start producing, we are start spreading that particular idea among the society, and someone who is very smart will start working on that idea. He will develop something, he will register that particular thing, and because of that, they are about to earn out of that particular thing. Now every nation is having the GDP. The nation like United States, China, at that particular nation, there is a great awareness about the IP. Everyone, starting from the child age to the elderly age, they all are aware about keeping the idea as a secret. They will first of what they will do, they will start writing about that particular idea with the prescribed manner by their IP sections. Then after that, they will register that particular idea. They will just undergone through the examination, and once that particular idea get granted, then only that idea will be introduced to the open market. Many a times the researcher like us, while doing the PhD, while doing the PG, while working on the B project, what we are generally doing, we are running behind the research articles, we are running behind the journal papers. Once the idea is get published, then on that particular idea no one have any sort of right. That means by looking towards anyone's good article, research article, I can able to develop some particular article. But after that particular publications, what we can say, the journal publications in terms of its availability at your yes, Google Scholar credit, on that particular point onwards, that article is, yes, belongs to be each and everyone, the one who is a reader in that particular sense. And because of that, before going for any publication, we must test whether that particular publication have any sort of potential for registering under the IP. And because of that, by looking towards this particular table, we came to know that whenever we are just looking towards the United States or China, why they are ruling, why they are at the top of the table, because there is a great awareness about the IP. They are encashing their registered idea. You may not believe that in United States, the very first patent, okay, which earn in multimillionary, what we can say, the wealth, is nothing but the toilet paper. By introduction of the toilet paper itself, just allow that particular inventor to earn a lot. So likewise, there are many concerns, many things that we have to think about this particular parameter. Now try to understand the next phenomena, that is how the global economy has been handled by United States or European Union. Try to understand by looking towards the nominal GDP in terms of the IMF WO 2015 report. So here we are clearly able to see that the United States, whenever they are doing something, they are first of all reserving their rights, and then only they are introducing that particular idea to the world in terms of the commercialization of the ideas. In India, whatever we are seeing in the, yes, train, in the bus station, many a times, many good idea, because of unawareness, it is not about to be get registered properly, and so direct product is supposed to be get introduced into the society, and so the inventor is not able to encash that particular opportunity. So that we have to learn out of this particular slide. Now we will start with the very basic phenomena related to the IP. Who can invent? Anyone from you may just let me know the answer. Who can invent? Anyone from you, if you would like to just take a part in this particular, yes, conversation, then it will be definitely the interesting one. Who can invent? What do you think? Is there any age
Whoever has
limit?
the idea.
Sir, any person who
No,
has
sir.
innovative ideas can invent.
Yes, very nice. So try to understand with this, we all can able to invent. It is not related to the gender. It is not related to the age. It is not related to any education, whether we are possessing the degree, whether we are not, whether we are agriculturalist or whether we are educationist. So there is a no restriction, no bar related to the invention. Everyone can able to invent. Only by looking toward these particular figures, we came to know that the one who would like to live in the imagination will definitely try to invent something, and he will definitely invent something. So always try to just work on this particular practice, that there should be imagination, there should be some thought process, how we can make our life easier. Now try to understand one beautiful example. Do you know why there is an invention related to the TV remote? The very simple and interesting, yes, reason behind that particular invention is laziness of people. Because earlier the button was placed nearby to the TV unit. Okay, so once we are there to change, we are planning to change the, yes, that particular, what we can say, the channel from one channel to another channel. Once we are striving for the navigation, at that time someone needs to go near to the TV, and we need to change that particular channel with the help of the button. Now why a remote was there? We all are knowing the power of the numbers starting from 0 to 9. If that particular remote just having the 0 to 9 keypad numbers, we can able to manage the numbers up to, yes, how many digit when there is a 0 to 9? So it is a NCR. So we can, the number of possible channels we can able to add with that particular facility of the remote. Secondly, there is a no need to go for changing that particular channel from the TV unit itself. We can remotely able to control that particular device. We can able to raise or lower down the volume. We can able to change the yes, what we can say, the channels, we can able to navigate nowadays from one platform to another platform in terms of the OTT. So my dear friend, there was an invention because or out of the laziness of the people. So always the one who is just giving the excuse for that particular task, he will definitely think how to resolve that particular concern. Many a times in at our home also we are observing that the student or the, what we can say, the boy or girl from that particular home or the house, when we are instructing them, when we are requesting them to do something, they will definitely have some typical Indian jugaad. They will try to resolve that particular activity, try to resolve that particular instruction in a such a fashion that there will be less effort from their end, and they can able to save some time out of it, they will able to save some energy out of it, and because of that they are supposed to enjoy the remaining time for their own. So likewise, whenever we are thinking about who can invent, try to understand that the TV and the TV remote is nothing but the beautiful connection where we can able to correlate with the invention. Now there is another concern related to the remote. We all are enjoying that whenever our childs are trying to watch the Cartoon Network, and we are eagerly waiting and we are eagerly in search of the remote for changing the channel to hear the breaking news. At that time, generally, if that particular remote was hid intentionally by our child, then we are unable to find or locate it properly. This is one case. Similarly, there is another case that someone who is using that particular TV set earlier to me, he's kept that particular remote and he's unable to remember. Then how to just find that particular remote? So this is also one of the invention. This is also one of the concern related to the invention, that we are unable to find the gadget at right place. So nowadays the TV along with the remote, that particular set came with such a configuration that at the time of initial start of that particular set, TV set, there is a buzzer. That buzzer, yes, blows out with the remote and the TV simultaneously. So we can able to just able to identify, we can say, yes, locate that particular remote at proper place. So my dear friends, by looking towards our day-to-day routine life, we can able to invent many things. Now try to understand why foreigners are visiting to India. Anyone can just answer this particular question, where this is very beautiful question. When I was a child, I used to, yes, I used to ask this question to my parents, why foreigners are visiting the India, as we are developing country first of all. Secondly, we are not able to manage our environment very clean and neat. We are not observing the sustainable activities for the environmental conservation, and still foreigner loves and likes to visit the India. Why they are here in India? They are not here in India for their holidays. They are on the study tour. They are trying to just collect as many problems as possible from India, so that they will go back to their country, they will think on that particular problem, they will give the solution in the innovative way, and they can earn out of that particular innovation. So my dear friend, when many a times whenever we are just trying to clean the car, clean the, yes, what we can say, the pet animals, what we are doing, we are connecting the pipe to the tap, and the next end of the pipe we are covering with the thumb to create the maximum pressure. We are about to just cover the diameter of that particular pipe in a such a fashion that with the available head of the water we can able to generate the maximum pressure. So try to understand, this particular invention is on the name of the, hello, am I audible? Is there any concern?
No, no, sir. Please carry on, sir.
Yes. Okay. So when we are talking about, yes, this particular innovation, try to understand that this innovation is on the name of the one of the American personnel. So how he invented? There is a very, yes, there is a very interesting concern related to this. He was on a tour of the India, and he came to know to this particular problem by looking towards how the, yes, farmers are washing the buffaloes by using this particular technique. So he came to know that if we can able to invent such additional fixture along with the pipe, then we can able to give the maximum pressure without putting our thumb across that particular diameter of the pipe. So my dear friend, this is the way we have to start thinking about each and everything. yes, near or surrounding us in a very innovative way. Never ever try to blame any difficulty, any hurdle. Try to understand if that is the difficulty, and if this sort of difficulty has not been faced by anyone, that means there is a hidden invention, and that I can register with me for just generating the wealth. Now, one second. Okay, there was a request from Pote sir that I supposed to start talking about directly how to file with the patent. I think with this we have to just switch to that particular part without introducing the basics of the patent audience. Okay, so now try to understand who can invent. This is a beautiful example. In this particular image, you can able to see how our sweeper team at our own campus invented the sleeper with the vacuum cup in the hills. We all are facing this particular concern. We are utilizing the vitrified tiles. Whenever we are utilizing the vitrified tiles, at that time, generally this happens with this particular concern that on the slippery surface or the floor, we are unable to walk properly, and there is many a time the concern related to the skidding and slipping. To avoid that particular skid and slip, our sweeper team just thought that there should be a vacuum cup, just like the various gadgets available in at our domestic utilization. So how we can able to introduce the vacuum cup in the sleeper? By introducing them, locate them in the heels of the sleeper, so we can able to have the proper grip on the floor, the wet floor especially. And so this particular patent was just filed on the name of the sweeper team. So my dear friend, this is very important to understand where is the potential and how to go ahead with this particular potential. Now, how can one start with the very basic phenomena related to this particular session is this particular slide, we can say. How can one start? There is a no set guideline. That means this is not any question paper. This is not any examination where we can think that, yes, with this particular way, we can able to invent something. So there are no set guidelines. Only there is a requirement of the gut feeling. If you are thinking that you are a problem solver, then definitely if that particular problem is the innovative one, if particular problem has been solved by you in a very innovative way, that itself is the invention. So always what I am suggesting you through this particular session is nothing but try to love in, just get loved into the problems. Try to in search of the problems. That problem itself will allow you for the solution, and that is nothing but the patent. Now, how do we invent? The very first concern related to the invention is nothing but setting a goal. We must have a dream that I will be the multimillionaire by the age of 40. I will definitely have one wonderful world tour, minimum 40 or 50, what we can say, the nations I would like to visit after my retirement. So that particular willpower will allow you to invent. Otherwise, if you are thinking that I am happy with my day-to-day routine and the actual package, then there is a, yes, no possibility that the teacher or the professor get time out of the day-to-day routine accreditation and the documentation process. The next one, there should be a good habit available with the personality to write something on a piece of paper. Many a times we are having what we can say reluctance related to this. So how to write, that particular habit we have to manage with. So always on every day, at least we need to start writing 100 words related to the day-to-day routine life, related to something that we came across while reading, while we came across while some typical yes communication or some incident. So that particular habit allow you to write something in innovative way. So writing it down is much important, and so inventor must be ready to write down that particular idea, though that idea is out of your team at 4 a.m. Second one, the experiment, develop, modify, and construct your invention. My dear friends, there are two ways with which we can safeguard our invention: the provisional specification and complete specification. What do you mean by provisional specification? If you have an idea, but you are not clear about the idea, its methodology, its process, its application, so don't waste your time to develop it. First of all, just what we can say, reserve your idea, safeguard your idea by just having the provisional specification registration with the IP India office. Secondly, there will be a 1 year window available with you. With that particular 1 year window, you can able to just work on that particular idea, and at the end of the or before the end of the yes 1 year, you can just complete that particular innovation in all aspect, and you can again just register your idea with the final or the complete specification. So if you have only a title, if you have only a concept, don't hesitate to get registered with that idea with the provisional specification, because that date of the provisional specification itself will allow you to register your idea in a proper way. Secondly, my dear friends, many a times we are having a habit that we are never ever try to keep something secret. Generally what happens, why India is lagging in this particular sector, is that we are start discussing the ideas with our fellow colleagues, and from particular that particular group, there is a one good criticizer friend available with us, who will criticize your idea, who will demoralize you, and he will only think according to his perspective, according to his mindset, according to the his available knowledge, and he will just demoralize you. And because of that, that invention is not about to be get registered properly. So my request to this particular session is that never ever start discussing this idea with anyone. We all are aware about the Drishyam movie, so keep that as a very great success, or what we can say very great secret, and that is the success behind the story. So whenever we are talking about the secret, try to understand that never ever just what we can say reveal that particular secret till your idea is get registered. At least once it is get registered, no one can just try to just stole that particular idea and able to develop that particular idea from you. So because of that, always try to keep that particular invention at very first stage as a secret one. Secondly, what is patent? So this is the concern what we generally understand out of the patent. So my dear friend, what is patent? It is mere a piece of paper. As we are purchasing the piece of land, what we generally doing, we are visiting the revenue department, we are collecting all necessary document, then we are visiting to the advocate. He is having some typical definite yes pattern, or the what we can say the draft available with him. In terms of the template, he is only putting our name, that party name, and he is trying to just change the ownership. Similarly, as this is the invention, there is a no any other what we can say the owner available with this particular invention. So this is the very first time you are just trying to just get the ownership out of that particular invention. And so as this is the very fresh ownership we can say, so here there is a requirement to follow the protocol defined by the respective authorities. So always try to understand that the invention or the patent is nothing but the piece of paper. It is very easy to draft this particular piece of paper, because for the research paper we are having many scrutinies, there are many templates, there are many guidelines from the journal end, publishers end, and we are trying to just follow that. In this particular case of the patent, it is nothing but the mere piece of paper where we have to just follow the yes prescribed number of the forms. In a proper way we have to fill that particular form, and there is a only important form available with the patent is nothing but the form number 2 that we will discuss in a detail. So this piece of paper, always try to understand patent is nothing but the piece of paper. So this piece of paper is covering or just containing your invention. So my dear friend, where to register this particular idea? For India, it is intellectual property, yes, department of the India. So for government of India, there is a IP India, yes, offices located at different hubs for different purposes. Say suppose I am talking about the process patent, there is one center. When I'm talking about the design patent, there is another center available. When I'm talking about the trademark, another is location is there. So out among the India, there are few locations where the IP related the scrutinization, examination, processing is happening, and because of that, we have to wrote them this particular request for registering our patent or idea as an innovation. So with this, we have to go ahead, because if something is yours, you have to register it with the government so that no one can claim that that particular thing is of mine. So whenever something is of mine, we have to just showcase some ownership related document, which is nothing but the yes patent. Now, why would anyone want a patent? Generally, there is a yes common phenomena related to this particular yes concern, because I have already told you, when someone is planning to have any sort of patent, generally what happens? Yes, there are inventors. When there is an invention, that means that invention is for the social purpose. That invention is definitely for the social cause or the social welfare. Try to understand, we are living in the India, having the great population. If we have invented something which will cost the every user up to 10 or 15 rupees, try to understand the scale of the business behind it. So always try to think that something we are about to invent should be reached to each and every single individual. If it is happening, that means you are making maximum profit out of it. And so whenever we are inventing something, there are some manufacturers, there are some industries, those who are interested to just purchase that particular idea, process it further, and to develop something for the betterment of the society. And they are thinking in the very professional way in terms of the business. So always try to understand that we have to cover the maximum area in terms of the demographic nature, so that our invention can reach to them and they can able to encash that particular invention in a very proper way. Now, how long can you stop other people? Yes, the very first thing, these are some interesting concern. Now see, when we are having some dream, when we are having some hobby, when we are thinking about having the good education, when we are thinking about making good partner, when we are thinking about our own family, this is the motive, this is nothing but the driving force for going for the patent. So these are nothing but what we can say the driving forces that will allow us to go further for patenting. Now, why do we want people to eventually use our invention? So that is the concern. Why people will start loving, start using our invention. So try to understand with this particular beautiful example. Earlier, this was the scenario related to the listening to the music. Nowadays, it is at a fingertip. It is available with the mobile. It is available with the headset. Bluetooth headset. Nowadays, there is also no need to carry the mobile when yes we are at a workstation. We are keeping our mobile at some particular location. We are having the headset, Bluetooth headset. There is a no wires, nothing, but still we are able to communicate with others. We can able to listen to the good music. So my dear friend, this is the revolution where we can just about to give solution to some typical traditional conventional methodology. So the invention means what? It is nothing but someone may make your invention even better in terms of giving some another height in terms of the technological advancement, in terms of the durability, in terms of the workability, in terms of the yes usability. So likewise, there are many ways with which we can add some additional features to available invention, and we can just have that particular right available with us. So make a lot of money. It can be beyond the imagination. For every what we can say the available gadget, there is a other alternative solution. So we have to think for that. Now Would there be any reason not to patent your invention? Yes, definitely. If you are lazy, that means you are not able to break your sleep. That means you are not loving yourself, so you are unable to make the patent. Secondly, unawareness. Many a times we are publishing the journal paper without writing, without securing the rights related to the invention. So that is we can call as unawareness. Next one, not loving self and family. If we would like to just only blame the system, only blame the opportunity available for us, that means there is a no MPSC examination for teachers, there is a no MPSC examination, there is a concern related to the reservation and many other problems. If we start talking related to that, that means we are not really loving ourselves or our family. So my dear friend, this is nothing to do with any other concern. There is a no restriction, there is a no bar. So start working on this particular, yes, very beautiful area in terms of the invention. Next one, not interested in earning prestige, fame and money. We all are in love of this particular concerns. So this is the one of the reason why the patent should be there. Now what can be patented? Try to understand that. So we can define that as anything under the sun that is made by the man. Do always remember that if there is a something which is created by the nature, that is not able to be get patented. But under the sun, that means in presence, whatever the human are able to make, able to invent, is nothing but the patent. So something novel, there should be some novelty. So try to understand with this particular definition, bookish definition, we can say whoever invents or discovers any useful process, new or useful process. Try to understand that. New process means what? Say suppose I'm having some typical algorithm available with me. I have just some what we can say alternative for that algorithm. Then definitely that process, that methodology will save the time, save the money, save the resources. So that is nothing but the invention. So whenever we are talking about the management, whenever we are about to reduce the stress on the resources, whenever we are about to curtail down the budget, whenever we are about to curtail down the energy requirement, that is nothing but the invention. Next one, machine. Try to understand. Earlier there was a screwdriver having the fixed, what we can say, the handle, and we are having only one sort of what we can say the edge available with it. But nowadays the screwdrivers are came in a such a fashion that the screwdriver can be able to switch in terms of the two ends. At the same time, the any end is able to accommodate another attachment with which with another design we can able to open or close the screw or nut, and that is what the machine is called all about. Next one, the manufacture. Manufacture means what? Say suppose with the two different methodology I can able to extract the oil from the refineries, that is nothing but the manufacturing concern. Then composition of the matter. Say suppose by utilizing some typical material ingredient I can able to produce something, that is nothing but the composition of matter. Now try to understand, already in market there is a red brick. Now if I'm about to give the alternative to the red brick with the cow dung brick, that means nothing but the, yes, invention, because the cow dung brick will help me to maintain the temperature inside and outside in a very proper way. So likewise the composition of the matter will be there. Next one, any new and useful improvement thereof. So try to understand, earlier the ceiling fan generally we are seeing in the household utilization is of the 3 blades, but nowadays there are 4 blade ceiling fans are also available. So likewise there are many concerns that we can able to think for in terms of the improvement. So how it will help me? Nowadays the ceiling fan are available with the remote. Nowadays ceiling fan is having the stationary lights. So likewise whatever the improvement we are suggesting to the invention is nothing but the patented, yes, technology. Next one,
नाही
hello, someone has
डिझायरेबल पण झाले.
अपलोड पण झाले.
now see, may obtain a patent therefore, so subject to certain condition. What are the certain condition? The very first is not obvious. So there should not be obvious, yes, there should be obviousness in that particular patent. If it is not obvious means what? We are only supposed to suggest something foolish. And the next one, there should be innovation. Innovation means what? Say suppose take example of the, yes, our arms. Okay, say suppose there is a yes pistol available with the our army man. whenever we are enjoying the Bollywood movie, Hollywood or Tollywood movie, generally what happens? The hero and villain came across and they are start firing on each other, and they came to know that now their magazine is out of the bullets, and at that particular instant they will start fighting with each other directly. My dear friend, as this is the movie, we can enjoy it, but at an actual, at a ground, at a field, if this happens, then there will be a definitely threat for the life for that particular army or the what we can say defense personnel. So there should be innovation in the pistol such that I can able to understand how many bullets are available, okay, digitally. Secondly, how many firing rounds I can able to have with. There will be a biometric sensation for the trigger, so that no one can able to utilize my pistol against me. Okay, many a times whenever there is a India Pakistan war, what they are doing, they are collecting that particular weapons. When suppose any army man is supposed to be get heated, then what they are doing, they are trying to collect our weapons. If it is biometrically, yes, what we can say the law, if it is supposed to be about, if that particular personnel from that particular personal's perimeter, if that particular arm is just going away with some typical perimeter kilometer of distance, then it's supposed to be get blasted directly. In terms of the lat long, we can able to manage that. If it is out of the India, that's supposed to that in what we can say the arm supposed to be get blasted in that particular location, then what will happen? We can able to save our people. So likewise, the patent should be innovative one, that's supposed to add some extra feather, extra essence to that particular gadget, and that is what we are interested in. Now next, what can be patented? The very first, machine like screwdriver, I have already told you. Then next one, improved machine means better screwdriver. Composition like new drugs, so pharmaceutical, yes, people can think about this. Next one, methods of making. Okay, so there are many concerns related to the methodology. So if we are introducing some different steps in the methodology, that is also patentable. Methods of using something, that is also the very important is concern. Next, methods of treatment and the business method. So likewise, these are nothing but the concern related what can be patented. Now what can be patented in this particular phenomenon, try to understand the utility in terms of the process, in terms of the machine, in terms of the manufacture or composition. Try to understand this. Okay, so it is related to the gadget, it is related to the science, it is related to the basic fundamentals, it is related to the industries. So everything can be patented. What do you mean by design? Now we all are aware that we came to yes know that some artist is making the Taj Mahal on the only single piece of the rice. So that particular is the grain of the rice itself is supposed to be utilized for the making the design. So such a sort of ornamental design will be definitely is considered under the design patent. Next one, in the plants, if we are able to innovate some new species, new varieties, that is also be get patented. And last one, any new and useful improvement. My dear friend, if it is for the betterment of the society, if it is helping the society in upliftment, in terms of its yes, luxury, in terms of its the social bars, definitely it is considered as a patent. Next, what is not patentable? That is first of all we need to understand. There are only few limitations related to the patentability. The very first is nothing but an algorithm. Now try to understand here what is not patentable. Suppose there is one typical algorithm as a basic, what we can say basic scientific, yes, rule, like continuity equation, like Newton's law. So that we can be able to patent by introducing. That means apple गिर रहा था, अब मैं banana गिराने वाला हूं, or I can able to say that this is one of the patent. So that is not allowed. Next one, a theory or scientific principle, that is theory of relativity sort of things I have already told to you. Then a human being, we all are very much fortunate that among us there are very great personalities. They can definitely be get discriminated with another one, but yes, there is a restriction, we can't patent them. Next one, something not novel means what? Say suppose we are thinking about the ceiling fan. By adding something additional facility, okay, in terms of the obviousness, if you are talking, if with the two blades it is giving the air, if with the three blades it is giving the yes, air, with the 4 blade, if it is giving the air, then by increasing the number of blade will never ever solve your problem in terms of the patent. But in just thinking with the different facet in terms of the blade, its dimension, its shape, its figure, everything will be get patented. So this is what we have to think from this particular something not novel. Next one, not for the good being for the human. Suppose I have invented some atom bomb that is not good for the society, then it is not able to be patented. Next one, obviousness. Yes, now try to understand this obviousness. Example of the table fan with the more blade that we have already discussed. And the no recipes. Say suppose I am master in the making the some typical food item in terms of the paneer dishes. I am a master. If that particular process has been applied for the patent, then it is not at all accepted, because it is supposed to be enjoyed by each and everyone. It is the right of everyone, so it is not patented one. So what are the requirement for a patent? Now we will start thinking in terms of how to start drafting for the patent. So the very first thing is nothing but it should be new or the novel one, not already known. So not already known means what? It should not be published, it should not be discussed at the open forum, it should not be, yes, revealed among the family or among the your what we can say the close relative. So that should be kept as a very great secret. Second one, not obvious, that is the important parameter. Next one, utility and usefulness, that is the very important parameter. Written description means what? The patent will be on your name only when you are able to write it on the piece of paper. My dear friends, as I have already told you, if you are just trying to reveal the secret means what? It is not a patent from that particular point onward. And because of that, there is a no, what we can say, disclosure certificate, that is non-disclosure related papers are there. That particular forms we need to first of all fill when we are sharing any patent related idea with the attorney, because there are many advocates those who will help us in terms of the drafting the patent for us if we are not able to draft the patent. Say suppose there is one farmer who is not, yes, what we can say, the very much literate, he is not able to understand how to draft that particular thing in a proper way, then he will definitely in need of someone who can able to just work on that particular idea. We all are aware about the De Dhakka movie, where that particular invention related to the carburetor for the mileage was yes, made available on that particular inventor's name by one, yes, particular attorney. He did that particular, yes, drafting of the invention for that inventor. Similarly here in this particular case, if we are well literate, then we can able to draft the patent at our own. If we are not, then at that time with the no disclosure form we can able to have that particular facility available with the attorney. Next one, unable must describe how to make and use the invention. Means what? Only putting that particular invention in a such a word phrases that no one can able to work on that particular invention afterwards, no one can able to produce. The content should be reproducible, that particular theme should be understand well enough with this particular enabled. And the last one, the best mode. The best mode means what? The preferred way or practicing the invention known to the inventors of the filing date. Okay, so what is the best mode here? If we have invented something, if we have provisionally registered something, we if we wait for 1 year and then thereafter we have just completed working on that particular patent, and then we have just submitted that particular patent with the complete specification. But if with the similar theme someone has invented, and in between the provisional patent and his final specification, if he registered his request for that particular invention, that particular second fellow will never ever have the rights related to that invention, because we have already yes registered that particular theme at our name way before with the provisional specification. So the best mode is nothing but start working related to that particular patent in the term of the time or the duration. The patent will be available on the name of the, yes, that inventor for 20 years. So after 20 years it will be available for the society, it will be open for everyone. So after 20 years, if you have a good theme, if you have good suggestion improvement in that particular patent, you can apply related to that particular idea once again with the new patent, and you can have that particular ownership. So that is what the meaning of the requirement. Now what is the potential barring activity? The very first concern is that public use anywhere in the world before the date of invention. So many a times when we are traveling, we came to know to just this particular activities, many product without having the design number, without having the invention registered on their name, it is make available to the society for the sake of making the money. So that is what the very first concern. Second one, patent or the publication before the date of invention, so that will not allow you to go for the patenting. Next, publication more than 1 year before filing. So try to understand that research papers, if we have just worked on the research paper and in which there is a very beautiful invention is hidden, so if it is more than 1 year, we are not able to just what we can say the register that particular innovation at our name. Next one, public use more than the 1 year before filing, and the sale or offer for sale more than 1 year before filing. So these are the potential barring activities we have to taken care, and that we can able to understand under the title prior art that we will see. So now we will start discussing about the forms and formats required. My dear friends, whenever we are writing something, whenever we are going for the research article, generally what we are doing, we are giving the essence of that particular research article in the form of the very narrated story called as abstract. Similar is the requirement for the patent. Here what we are expecting from this, here we are expecting from that journal, yes, invention in nutshell, that through the abstract, the assessor of that particular patent from the patent authority can able to understand the theme, and so he will think about your patent accordingly. So in abstract, we have to mention everything very precisely, very clearly, and that should have the very clear meaning. My dear friend, there should not be the double meaning. There should not be any confusion. There should not be any misrepresentation intentionally or non-intentionally. So the abstract should be very crystal clear. Secondly, there is a form number 1. As I have told you, this IP means what? It is nothing but making your idea available under your property. That means that particular idea is supposed to be get registered somewhere. So there should be the proper communication address. There should be your sign. There should be your name. So the form number 1 will contain all the basic information related to the communication details, related to your yes origin, nationality, and everything. So this form number 1, why there is a requirement related to the nationality mentioning? Because the out of India also, if any inventor interested to file his idea under jurisdiction of the Indian terrain, then he or she can able to do so. So under the form number 1, it is related to who you are. Next one, the form number 2. My dear friend, this is nothing but the heart of the patent. The complete specification, provisional specification, this is nothing but the most important parameter, and for which we teacher, we the community of the teacher, definitely we able to just convert this particular form number to the great extent, with the great essence, with the great sense of the responsibility, and we can able to mold this particular form in a such a fashion that there will be a minimal rejection for our patent. So the form number 2 is nothing but the very important parameter. We will discuss the form number 2 in detail. Then form number 3, diagrams. Form number 18 we will discuss now here onwards. Now try to understand what is the complete specification form number 2. My dear friend, for any invention, that means for any property, there is some typical gut number, serial number, there are some typical nomenclature. Out of that, we are able to discriminate that property on the piece of land. Similarly, in terms of the complete specification, the very important parameter is title of invention. My dear friend, title of invention itself will allow you to just what we can say encash this opportunity by giving some what we can say tempting word phrases, so that we can able to discriminate with available facility, available gadget, available what we can say the process or methodology, how it is differ from the available one that we can able to mention through the title of invention. So just giving the title of invention is itself will allow you to just give you the speedy assessment for your patent. Secondly, the field of invention. My dear friends, when we are talking about the field of invention, every area, every invention is having some core basic science. Say suppose some invention from the physics, some invention are from the chemistry, some invention are from the domestic. So likewise, that particular invention category needs to be mentioned. So that is what the intention of the field of invention. The next one, the background of invention. Always whenever we are putting something in front of the society, there is a many question from societal end. Okay, so always try to be ready for the criticism, so that critics should be answered way before in terms of the background of invention. So this background of invention should address all sort of possible WH question to be asked while the examination, or to be asked by the any, what we can say, the layman from the society. So how we can work on this background of invention? Say suppose I am working on some idea, say for the woman safety I am thinking. So in woman safety, till now how many invention are there, from which category, which domain, which background they are belonging from, how it is differ from your newly invented technology. So likewise you have to focus, you have to compare with the history, and that is nothing but the background of the invention. Next one, prior art. My dear friends, prior art is nothing but the literature survey. Just in similar way, the way with which we are giving the literature survey section while drafting the thesis, drafting the report, dissertation, similarly in the prior art we have to mention that whether in this particular domain, whether with this particular idea, is there any invention available? If it is available, how it is different from mine? So likewise in prior art we have to clearly mention that whatever I am claiming is totally novel, totally new to the society, and that is what the meaning of the prior art. Next one, the object or objects of the invention. This is the very important parameter. There should be crystal clear object or the objective of the invention. If we are able to mention the objective very crystal clearly, then we can able to address the innovation with that objective. If we are able to achieve all the objective while drafting that particular form number 2, means what, there is 100% chances that we can able to registered, or that particular registered patent will be get granted definitely. Next one, summary of invention. Yes, it is one of the important parameter related to the summary of invention. Here we need to understand this in detail. Next, brief description of drawing. Now when we are talking about the brief description of drawing, always try to understand that we not supposed to just give the names to the any component in the drawing or the figure. There should be only numbers to that particular component, and that number should be differently mentioned and what we can say explained separately on the next piece of paper. So the figure page, drawing page only have the drawing along with the number for the different components. There should not be any names available for any part in terms of the word phrases. So that is what the important thing out of this brief description of the drawing. Then detailed description of the drawing. Here we are mentioning all the different components. Say suppose I have just mentioned one vehicle, and for that vehicle there are 100 components. So I will start explaining number 1 component is for, 2 is for, 3 is for, how they are correlated, how they are working, how the different methodology is there. Then likewise we are going for that particular detailed description of the drawing. Next one, the novel feature. Try to understand what do you mean by the novel feature. So we have to focus, we have to give the maximum emphasis on novelty of that particular, yes, object. So that is what very essential while talking about this particular form number 2. And the last and very important parameter is the claim. My dear friend, many times the patents are not granted only because of the improper mentioning of the claim. What do you mean by the claim? If I have invented something, in which way I have to make the claim? Suppose I have invented, say suppose one camera, or yes, surveillance camera we can say. So that surveillance camera if I have invented, I am not supposed to mention over there under the claim that it is able to capture the high quality image, it is able to capture the high quality video. That is nothing but the advantages or disadvantage we can say. In claim, what I need to mention is that camera is made up of this material, but this can be made up of any other material, say suppose and vice. So I am claiming that the camera and its casing made up out of this particular plastic with this particular grade can be replaced with the wood, can be replaced with the any other parameter, say suppose glass, acrylic. So likewise what I am claiming, I am not only emphasizing on the actual methodology of the process, but here I am mentioning that the composition can be get altered. Say suppose I have invented something, I have invented some water bottle. and I'm only worried about that particular water bottle in terms of keeping the fluid, yes, filled in that particular, yes, bottle in the exact, what we can say, the condition. Say suppose it is hot, it will remain hot for 24 hours. But if I'm able to mention that related to the grip, related to the size, related to the shape, related to the material, if I'm able to cover all the aspects so that no one can able to make the easy changes inside it and can be able to just claim for another patent for that particular patented technology. So we have to just give the constraint to the next user that you are not about to utilize this particular patent with any other alteration, any other modification that I have missed to mention. So what I am doing, I am covering my rights in a such a fashion that after that invention, say suppose for at least for 20 or 30 years from that particular invention on a date of filing of the invention, there should not be any challenge from the society, from the any corner of the world, that this particular bottle with some minor modification can be claimed by the another inventor for the new innovation. So that is what the meaning of the claim. Claim means what? Here we are trying to cover as much as possible the rights available with me for futuristic safeguard for that invention. So this is all about the form number 2. Now we will start looking toward this particular IP India, yes, website. Now there is one condition related to the official website of the intellectual property of India. This is nothing but the IP India website, my dear friends. Once we are visiting this to this particular website, there are many sections. As I have already told you, this is under the Department for Promotion of the Industry and Internal Trade. So these are the patents, these are the designs, trademarks, GI, and this is one of the scheme. Now try to understand that under the patents, if you are about to visit the publication section, under the publication section, there are, yes, journal. So my dear friend, I request you all that you start visiting this particular website. First of all, try to understand through the journals how many patents has been filed, when they are about to get published, what is the frequency of the publication. Then once I have registered my patent, after how many days or how many weeks it is supposed to be get published, where it will be available. So that we have to understand first of all. So this is nothing but the journal. Okay, it will navigate you to the another parameter. Now try to understand, on every Friday the IP India is about to publish the journals. Now there are 4 journals related to the patent, and the 5th part is related to the design. So according to the number of application, they are converting this particular parameter. Okay, so these are nothing but the patents registered on
Sir,
March.
hello.
This part is nothing but the design patent registered on the 15th of March. Generally, it is available on the government website on Friday. So now we will talk about this particular website. Now try to understand, as I have shown you, yes, these are nothing but the different tabs. Here we are interested in comprehensive e-filing. Why I am showing this? The very important parameter is that nowadays there is a no need to visit any nearby, yes, location for this particular facility for the, yes, registering your idea. So now after going into the comprehensive filing, now under the comprehensive filing, we have to register our site for, we need to sign up for different portals differently. What I mean to say is that if I'm interested in the utility or the process patent, this is the e-filing for the patents. Okay, when I am interested in the design patents, there is a filing for the design patent, and similarly for the trademarks, then GIs. So my dear friends, here on this particular website, the very first requirement is that we have to open this website in the Internet Explorer browser only. Secondly, you're supposed to be ready with the digital signature, DSC, that will be available from the TCS or eMudra, and that is required for the class 3 level. So we can able to just go inside this particular portal. I will show you, and then we will just move to the our concern related to the actual filing. Now suppose how this portal looks like and what is the requirement that I will show, and we will then move forward to the next level. Okay. So my dear friends, this is nothing but the login. Okay. Under this login, there are all forms 1 to 31. So we can able to download the forms from here. This is nothing but the new application form. Okay, so we will proceed to the e-filing. Now in e-filing, by default, by mentioning your digital signatures, now this digital signature is on the name of the our honorable principal H.U. Tiwari sir. So as Aadhaar number, his address is mentioned along with the DSC, so it will definitely about to be get locked for the type of patent. Say suppose we are applying for the design patent, it will be turned to the Kolkata. Now, as nearby to me for the process patent, Mumbai is the center, so it will be locked to the Mumbai. So type of application that might be the conventional, then ordinary. So likewise, we will move with the ordinary application. So we are not about to allow them to ask for the any additional money. Okay, so for the speedy process, there will be a different charges. Now, type of specification, as I told you, there will be two types of specification. If I am not ready with my idea 100%, I will go with the provisional one. If I am ready with the idea, then I will go with the complete specification. Say suppose I am going with the provisional specification. Now, complete or provisional specification description part. So they will ask how many pages are there for the provisional specification. So there should be a separate Word doc for the provisional specification mentioning its number is required. Now claims, though you are going for the provisional or the final, you have to mention the claims and its number of pages, abstract, drawing, and any other concern. Now title of invention, that you have to mention, address. This is nothing but the concern related to the, yes, your information communication details. Abstract you have to paste over here. Description, that what do you want through this particular invention, that is mentioned over here, and here we can able to mention the claims. Now we can able to add the applicants. Okay, now try to understand, there is one tab, inventor is are same as the applicant. Many a times we are seeing that for the Toyota, for the Mahindra, for the Tata, the inventor are engineers working for their organization, but the applicant is the Tata Motors, Toyota Motors. So as in our case, the applicant are nothing but the inventor. So we can click this and we can go for the next. Now here they are mentioning something which is much important. Now the provisional specification relating to the invention is filled with this application, so we are ticking yes. Next one, the invention as disclosed in the specification uses biological material from the India, and the necessary permission from the competent authority shall be submitted by the me or us before the grant of the patent to me or us. Now what does it mean? We all are aware about the movie related to the COVID pandemic. Okay, so they are worried about some species, animal species, okay, monkeys, and they are in need of the monkeys to test that particular, yes, what we can say, generated yes, chemical composition in terms of the drugs. So if we are just correlated with that particular experimentation, there should be special permission, and that we have to attach with this particular form. So likewise, there are do's and don'ts. And now this form number 9, form number 18, and form number 28, what does it mean, that we will see in the next. Now there is a concern related to now upload of the document. Whatever the document we have supposed to attach will be populated on the next screen. Now we will move with the next parameter. Now try to understand, these are the website, IP India for the patents, copyright. Yes, then this is journal for the patent. So these are the useful website I have mentioned over here. You can go through it. Now, for the sake of understanding how to proceed further in actual way of the patent drafting, there is one case study. Now try to understand, before get into this particular activity, everyone must be aware about what will be the charges. Now, these are the charges for the offline mode. These are the charges 1750. This is for the offline mode. If you are going with the online mode, there will be only 1600. Okay, so there will be a saving of 150 rupees by having the online application. So form number 1, it is related to the application for the grant of patent. So we are mentioning that I am so and so, and I am requesting for the grant of this particular patent. Form number 2, this might be in the provisional form, or this might be in the complete specification form. Form number 3, statement and undertaking. Here we are mentioning that this is true to my knowledge, and this is solely invented by me. Next one, declaration as to inventorship. Now this is very important. If we fail to fill this particular form, means what? There is a conflict in between inventor and yes, applicant. So this is very important that applicants are nothing but the inventor in our case. If we are working for the organization, there will be a name of the applicant on the name of the organization. Inventor will be us. Next one, form number 5 for request for publication. If you are wishing to publish your patent in the journal by the patent office, that is supposed to be get published on the every Friday, so there should be a request from your end. And the form number 18, request for examination of the patent, and that is also having this particular this is nothing but the speedy process for the request for the examination of the patent. So this is very important. Here we have to pay this much amount. So in nutshell, we can say maximum up to 9 to 10,000 rupees is the charge for going for the filing the patent. My dear friend, the very important parameter here is, if you are not taking help for drafting the patent, then it is very much easy to cover these particular charges up to yes 8,900 for the speedy processing. Now this is the form number 1. Here you can see here what we are supposed to mention, the applications. Yes, here from here onwards only we are mentioning the type of application, ordinary one, then applicant's name, their nationality, country, contact detail and address of the applicant. So natural person, always try to understand that if I am talking about the Tata Motors, it is not the natural person, so the fee is different. But if it is related for the natural person like us, human being, then it is definitely yes consider with the different fees. So this is important to be understand from the form number 1. Now form number 3, under this particular form number 3, again we have to mention the name of the inventor and allied details. But here what we are stating is that we are giving just undertaking as per the government norm under the section 8 rule 12, that these are nothing but the true inventor and the applicant under this application. Next one, form number 5, declaration as to the inventorship. Here we are mentioning that the first row itself is nothing but the applicant, and the second row will allow us to mention the names related to the inventor for this particular idea. Now we can able to use the signs. Okay, in this particular fashion we can put the image of our sign for easy formatting of the document. Here while filing this particular application, try to understand that form should be just stipulated with the guideline of A4 size. That means we have to convert these particular forms in the soft copy format in the doc. We have to fill all necessary data. We have to mention and maintain the protocol related to the A4 size paper. That means size should be A4, margin should be normal, so that it will be get converted when we are just converting that particular doc into the PDF. It will be just available for the ready to upload. Otherwise, that form is unable to be get uploaded. So there are some restriction from the site that the form should be of A4 size with the normal margin, and that particular fashion we have to maintain to avoid the further complication. Then form number 18 is request for yes examination of the application for the patent. So we can pay this particular fees at the time of the submission of the patent, or we can wait and watch till we are supposed to hear from the patent office. If they are asking that now this is your turn, you need to pay the examination as fees for further examination, at that time also you can able to feel this or pay this particular fees. Now content of form number 2, we will start thinking about this. Now the very first is field of invention, background, prior art, objective, summary. So we will discuss this one by one. Now we all are aware about the Three Idiots. Okay, under this particular movie we came to know many aspects of the life, how to deal with the problems, how to live the life. But the very important parameter with the IP section is nothing but this particular pen. We all are aware that okay, why astronaut were using this particular pen in space. So here one of our faculty from the mechanical department just invented this pressurized ink writing instrument like a pen to pen refill. Now this is the way with which we have to mention the drawings. So this is the pen. Okay, these are nothing but the various component we are interested in, and these are nothing but the numbers. So with this way we have to mention the figures. Okay, now while talking about this particular invention, what is the invention? with the pressure, as we are holding the pen for writing, once we have hold that particular pen, we can able to just squeeze it, we can able to give some pressure, then only it will start allowing you to utilize the ink inside it. And that is the reason that there should not be the spillage of the ink. Many a times in the summer season especially, what generally happen is that the refill ballpoint pen is unable to hold with that particular filled ink, and that filled ink is unable to just remain inside that particular casing. It will start flowing very naturally, easily out of that particular yes refill, and that's why there is a concern related to the damaging of your bearings, and to avoid that, this invention was there. Now when you are applying the pressure, then only the liquid will came outside, that ink will came outside of that particular nozzle. And here they have mentioned some typical mechanism related to the chemical agent they are about to put inside the refill, so that there will be a static pressure, okay, that will allow it to just write when it is released in terms of the applying the pressure at the gripping point. Now this is the complete specification form number 2. Here, pressurized ink writing instrument, a like pen refill employing magnetic repulsion force. Try to understand this title itself is allowing us to understand the theme of the invention. So it is like a pen refill employing magnetic repulsion force. So on the basis of the magnetic repulsion force, the ink is flowing inside that particular casing. So this is how we have to mention with the the form number 2, the page 1. Name of the applicant, full name needs to be mentioned. Don't try to go with the short forms. Secondly, address should be very, what we can say, the crystal clear, along with the pin code, along with the state, district, your tehsil, everything, because we are unable to change that particular address afterwards. And if there is a, what we can say, improper or incomplete address is there, they are not at all responsible for communicating with you. If they are unable to communicate with you, means what? You are unable to answer for the examination and patent will be denied. So this is the very first page. Secondly, the field of invention. Now the field in which this invention belongs to, that we need to mention very clearly. Now when we are talking about the magnetic repulsion, it is related with the physics. So the invention leads to the field of physics. This invention relates generally to the pressurized ball pen refill. More particularly, the present invention relates to the ball pen refill, which operate even in the reverse elevated position by employing the magnetic repulsion force to the pressurized refill ink. Many times, being a HOD, student came across in veranda, in corridor, in canteen, if they are in a hurry and they require any sign, what generally we are doing? While walking in the corridor, we are trying to keep that particular piece of paper on the wall, and we start signing that particular document, as there is a no desk or any other relevant material available. So at that time, we came to know that we are unable to make the sign. Why? Because that ink is unable to came out of the refill. So this is what we have to mention here in this particular invention. Now try to understand, from this particular point to this particular point, there is a only, what we can say, the two statements are there. Okay, so with minimal statement, we have to mention the field of invention. With minimum full stop, rather, we have to mention the field of invention. So this is the beauty of this part. Secondly, background of the invention. Now, here in this particular content, we are interested in the previous attempts made on the related field to address the stated problem. So here, what we are doing, we all are master in this. We are loving to compare everyone, every technology. We are always trying to just make, what we can say, the comparison among the two available options. So being a human being, we all are in love with this particular activity. Here with the technical aspect, we have to mention this. So ink writing instrument, like a pen refill fail to operate in the reverse elevated position. This is the key feature I need to address, and related to that, whether there are any other mechanism available that I need to mention. So gas pressurized systems are there, remaining other systems are there. I will mention them. I will mention about their remedies. I will mention about their pros and cons, and then I will mention about my invention, how it is better, how it is having the sound technical aspect, and that I am expecting from the background of invention. Next one, prior art. So in this particular section, prior art means what? Say suppose from Pune to Yeola, I am planning to travel. if I'm about to ask this question to the Google, and if Google is unable to answer, my dear friend, believe me, the question for which Google don't have the database, and if they are unable to pop up with some information related to that content, on that particular single instant onward, Google people will working on that invention, because that is known to the society. And so under the prior art, there are some typical website, there are some typical browsing, yes, what we can say, the trends that we need to follow. That means if I'm inventing the new road from Pune to Yeola, I supposed to ask something in between, yes, in front of the Yeola and back of the Pune. Say suppose from Kolhapur to any other location against the Yeola, I will mention over there, and I will just try to think whether that particular alternative route is available as per my invention from PCMC to Yeola. That means never ever ask direct question to the any browsing engine, what we can say, the search engine. So there should be a twist and turn while asking the question to the browser. Otherwise, that browser itself will copy your idea, and before you file that particular patent will be filed by the search engine engineers. Okay, and add their name, because there are many researchers working for the Google. They are only there when there is a concern related to the database availability. Now try to understand in prior art how we have to mention. So there is a one pen where nitrogen gas is under pressure. There is a sliding float. Then yes, another thiotropic ink is there that is able to gain its shape and size afterwards. So likewise there are concern. So this is nothing but the one of the patent which was patented in 1966. Okay, anti-gravity pen. So this anti-gravity pen, this particular information must be mentioned for the reference, just like we are citing the papers in the research article. So we have to cite them. We have to mention how they are different than invention that is I am about to introduce through this particular application. So for that, for the comparison theory, we have to mention. So there is a two, what we can say, hidden agenda under this particular prior art. The very one, the available option. Second one, how I am different from it. And third one, the very important agenda is nothing but out of these two agenda, what we can say is that is nothing but such a sort of things are already patented. So what I am claiming is not obvious. You're supposed to think on it. So we are indirectly forcing them. If for such a sort of facility patent is there, what I'm suggesting now is now required to be get patented, and it can be patented. So we are indirectly allowing them to compare this particular thing. So these are nothing but the case study for the ready reference. Next one, under the prior art, what we are doing now, see, this contains the evidence of the previous documented work in the contest and brief about novelty of the proposed invention. So this US patent we have to mention over there. What we are having differently, that we need to mention. So this is all about the complete specification. Now, my dear friends, at the very beginning of the semester, when we are allocating the B project, ME project, or the PhD, yes, what we can say, the title and the objective, what we are expecting from the fellow researcher or the student is nothing but the objective should be very crystal clear. So here, what we are interested in is nothing but it contains the objective of the proposed invention. So for the proposed invention point of view, there should be the objective. They should not be the general one. They should be in line with, in what we can say, the context with the invention we are mentioning. So the preliminary objective of this invention is to provide the mechanism which can be used magnetic repulsion force to pressurize writing instrument like pen refill ink. So my dear friend, here in this particular objective, we are mentioning the methodology we are about to adopt and how we are about to achieve under the objective. Second objective is related to the providing writing instrument like ball pen, which can work at any angle and any elevation position. So here we are mentioning about how it will be workful for user in different condition. And at the end, yet another objective of the invention is to provide the simple and cheap mechanism, yes, within the writing instrument like pen refill, so that it can be successfully commercialized. So do always remember, there should be the social relevance should be in the objective. It should be available. How it will benefit to the society, that we have to mention through the objective. Next one, summary of the invention. Here what we are expecting, as when we are about to assess the question paper, what we generally do, we are trying to just review the very first question answered by the student in very basic way. Okay, we are understanding the theme, the way he's expressing. So summary of the invention is nothing but the interest of the assessor. Here we have to mention everything in very brief manner. Okay, so likewise in the summary, here also we need to mention in very short manner with the very, what we can say, the clear intention that what is the invention, and that particular invention related information should be revealed from this point. Next one, brief description of the accompanying diagram. Now this is related to the diagram. As I have already told you, there should be a different doc for description of the accompanying diagram. So in the figure number 1, what we are expecting, cross section view of the proposed invention, operating instrument like pen, and so on. So likewise, there should be reference for the numerals, like 1 relates to casing, 2 relates to nozzle, 3 relates to anything else. So likewise, this mentioning should be there separately. It should not be mentioned in the word phrases during or at the sheet containing the drawing. So this is all about this drawing. Now next one, terminology. This should be mentioned very clearly here. If you are mentioning the casing inside the figure, there will be a restriction, but this is the space where we can able to mention everything related to the that terminology. So casing of the pen refill is a barrel. So it is a barrel made up of the plastic. So we are mentioning the material which have the provision to fix the end cap. So in that particular barrel, there is an end cap and its fixation provision at the rear end, and the nozzle at the front end, it accommodating the writing ink and the heavy fluid in it. My dear friend, here what we are mentioning, we are trying to capture the attention of the assessor in a such a way that based upon this particular terminology or the drafting skill, I can manage to mention as many possible claims as I can in the next section. So the claims will be addressed by mentioning everything in very much detail under the title called as terminology. Okay, then next one, detailed description of the invention. Here what we are utilizing now, that is the important parameter. Now see, the invention will now be described in relation to the accompanying drawing, in which figure 1 illustrates a mechanism use of magnetic repulsion force to the pressurized ink of writing instrument like pen refill. Now a ball pen refill casing in bracket 1 is a cylindrical barrel which have the provision to fix up the end cap fixed magnet 3. So here whatever I am drafting, it is having an association with the drawings, its number, and there is a, what we can say, one typical way with which I am correlating the story, and I am mentioning the association of the one mechanism with the another one component with the another one, and that is what we are expecting from the detailed description of the invention. So this drafting skill is much important. These drafting should not have the generalized items. Never ever try to use general phrases. Why? Because we are writing something for the innovation. There should not be the general phrases or the general, yes, what we can say, the statements we need to make. Now, claims. First of all, try to understand claims are not advantages or disadvantages. The points where applicant want to preserve own rights for the said invention is nothing but the claim. Now, in very first claim, what we are mentioning, a pressurized ink ball pen employing magnetic repulsion force, the said mechanism comprising a pen refill casing first with the end cap fixed magnet, nozzle with the steep rolling ball, a sliding magnet resting against the heavy fluid, and in turn of the writing ink. So what we are doing, this particular composition altogether we are mentioning as a claim. That means this pen refill casing, so casing will be of any material that we will mention under the second claim. Then cap end fixed magnet, so where we are fixing the magnet, in cap, so that is we are about to mention. So this all particular mechanism we are about to be, yes, preserved under the claim number 1. So in claim number 2, what we are mentioning, a system as a claim number 1. Okay, system as claimed in a claim number 1, wherein the single sliding magnet 8 with the broad metallic nozzle 2 may use to pressurize the writing ink due to the use of the force of attraction between the metallic nozzle and the sliding magnet. So we are correlating the claim number 1 with the number 2, and we are trying to cover as much right as possible with this particular, yes, specification. So this is what we are interested in. Now when we are talking about the diagram, it should be schematic, it should be used, what we can say, draw by using the, yes, the computational aided, okay, facilities like CAD, then 2D or 3D or flow diagram. So here in this particular diagram, at the right hand up, what we can say, uppermost right part, there should be a mentioning of the total number of seats for the drawing. Secondly, there should be a mention of number of seats, and after that there should be a name of the application, applicant, and the figure name. So likewise, here we have to mention everything. The number of diagram, number of total number of the seats will lead toward the differentiation, what we can say, differentiation in terms of the total charge fee. So always try to understand that there is some typical upper cap with which we can provide them with the number of drawing seat, and that is what we are in need of. Now try to understand, with this particular way we have to mention everything in terms of the drawings. So number of total seats, say suppose there are 10 seats, out of that this is set number 1, this is nothing but the first figure, second figure, third figure, fourth figure. So likewise we have to mention on every page there should be applicant name and applicant sign is required. Now this is related to the abstract. Now try to understand the brief of the invention with the keywords in the single sentence format. This is the heart of the abstract, single sentence format, and the main diagram of the invention needs to be mentioned on the piece of paper. So we are mentioning the title, we are mentioning this particular technology or the, what we can say, methodology in only one single sentence. A ball pen refilling case is cylindrical barrel which have a provision so and so, and have the similar poles facing each other. So likewise, there should be a single statement in which we have to mention the abstract. So these are the key features that we need to understand in detail while going for the complete specification. Now this is the form number 2. Okay, here this is nothing but the common parameters as per the government norm. This particular part will be there. We have to change the title, we have to change the name of the applicant, and then yes, address. Now this is how we can go for the next stage, that is nothing but, yes, ordinary application. I have already told you. So fee is 1750 as it is offline one. If it is online, 1600. So form number 2, form number 3, form number 5, fetch is no fee as it is provisional one. Next one, next form number 9, it is having the some typical fee. Form number 18, it is having fee. So it is 8,900 in total. My dear friend, this is the way we have to think about the, yes, patent. So this is all about from my end. If you have any questions, I would like to answer, or I would like to show that particular opened portal. If anyone have any doubts, I would like to navigate through that particular portal. Thank you so much. I am very much thankful to the Honorable Management, SND Yeola. Yes, all the head of department, the especially the head of department civil engineering Ansari sir, and the young dynamic my dear friend Rohit Pote sir, for just availing me this beautiful opportunity to share my views related to the how to file the patent. Thank you so much.
Yes, any questions from audience?
Sir, all these patents are comes under the CGPDTM.
Pardon?
CGPDTM control. Hello.
Hello.
Control General. Hello.
Hello sir, please.
Is it here?
Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir. He was asking whether this all this comes under control of general of defense and copyright, intellectual property rights. Yes, filing of patent, copyright, trademark, it all comes under control regulation regulatory body. Yeah.
Sir, you are not audible clearly to me. Anyone can please Yes, repeat the question asked by respected sir. Hello, am I audible? Kindly confirm if I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If possible, kindly post in a chat box so I can able to answer your question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, very good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I'm from Pune and I'm from IT background, ITCS. So you
Oh.
told that we cannot apply for the algorithms.
Yes,
So
yes.
we are from CS and IT. So in which area or what kind
Sir,
of?
for computer guys, copyright is the best option.
Okay.
So in computer, many algorithms we can able to copyright. So whatever the content you have, you can easily copyright and you can reserve your rights.
So for patent, what kind of thought process we need to develop?
Sir, thought process is nothing but you supposed to have the problem. If that particular problem you are having the novel solution with, you can able to go for the patenting.
We cannot apply by using algorithms. So we need to hardware based.
Yes, hardware. Yes, for process you can go, sir. If we don't focus on the algorithm, but if the process is very unique, you can go for the patent.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
And can we file the patent in interdisciplinary area?
Yes, why not, sir?
Okay. What is the weightage for sir group patent? Means if you along with some of my colleagues and
Sir,
if we,
in IP in IP language, as
Mhm.
against the research journal, we can say
Mhm.
actually in research journal, author one will get the greatest weightage.
Yes, sir.
The IP, it is the uniformly distributed among all.
All.
If all
Okay.
the applicants are the inventors,
Mhm.
then the equal weightage will be distributed among everyone.
Okay. And sir, nowadays so many people means discussing about the Indian patent, Australian patent, and US patent. So which
Yes.
is the best, better, and easy, sir?
Sir, it is always best to have the patent in your own jurisdiction. Say, suppose I am having the US patent or Australia patent, and I am just file that particular patent, that particular patent was get granted, but that is just file for their jurisdiction. If I am not able to just process that particular thing at their country, if I have some methodology, if I have some manufacturing concept, and if only patent is on my name, though it is granted one, if I am not able to implant that particular process at Australia, then it is none of anyone's business. So it is always better to have the Indian patent because we are from the India, we are in this particular yes, jurisdiction where we can easily able to understand yes how to implement it. Second point is that if I have the Australian patent or US patent, though it is having a weightage, but if by looking toward that particular patent, if any Australian or US guy just patented with the similar, yes, what we can say technology, whether I'm able to fight with him, whether I'm able to just preserve my rights. So it is very, what we can say, difficult to just go over there and just save our own rights. So it is always better to have the Indian patent, sir. And for Indian patent, there is a very proper uniform process under which it is just process. There will be examination, there will be a result, there will be a grant certificate, there will be any other allied communication from the jurisdiction. Similarly, there is a concern related to upkeepment or the maintenance charges of the patent. Every year we have to pay to the government for that particular, yes, just like the revenue department. the way with which we are paying to the talati personal for just giving that particular 8A or 7-12 sort of document to us every year for the agricultural and non-agricultural piece of land. Similarly, to have that particular document available with the government, we need to give them the maintenance fee. If we are concerning the Indian terrain, then it is very minimal. But when we are talking about the Australia or the US, the document maintenance fee for that particular preservation of the rights is great. So to avoid that, it is always better to have the Indian patents.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question is that is there is any community available means in Pune for this patent or for guidance or like that? You are there?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there is any community, sir, in Pune available? Or you also told that when we are going to file the patent, so if we are a beginner, so we have to take help of that lawyers.
Attorney.
So
Yes.
are there any means the contacts or the persons which are
Sir,
available in the
Sir, you
Pune?
can contact directly to me. I would like
Okay.
to help you out. Our institute is very positively helping the nearby institute to filing the
Okay, sir.
patents. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
from my institute end, my department end, I would like to help you out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes. Hello. Anything else?
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable guidance. It will be very helpful for us to improve our knowledge and to learn new things. Thank you to our beloved management, respected Dr. Principal, Dr. D.M. Yadav, sir, all the faculty development program coordinators, all the HODs, and all the participants. I request to all the participants to please fill up the feedback form. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for
Thank you
giving
so
me
much
an
for giving me an
opportunity.
opportunity.
Thank you once
Thank you
again.
once again.
All participants, please fill the feedback form available in the chat box and fill for both the sessions. Also, those who have not paid the fees, immediately pay the fee for claiming the certificate after attending all the sessions. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have a great day ahead. Bye.
Yes, sir. Yeah.